Welcome back to the Self-Esteem and Confidence Mindset podcast with me, Johnny Pardo. Today, I have a very special guest episode, and my special guest today is my friend, Ammar. Welcome, Ammar.
Well, thank you for having me, Johnny. And I'm actually your very good friend, man. Let's just add that word in there, buddy.
Yeah, very, very true. Very good friend. Obviously, me and Ammar have very serious conversations all the time where I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
jokes or anything like that at all. That's
Oh, yeah. We're so serious. No sarcasm whatsoever, ever.
Awesome. So we'll dive into our entertaining conversation in a minute, where we're going to be covering about self-confidence and the money mindset and really working on yourself as well as your confidence, of course. So just a bit of a background about Ammar. So Ammar Assad is a father of four. He owns 4 rental car franchises with over 30 employees. He's currently helping coaches on how to master and sell on their enrollment calls. He also, it's noted here, his role models include Johnny Pardo.
Insert sarcasm. I told you sarcasm right away, baby.
Okay. Yeah. So, welcome again, Ammar, and it's great to have you on the show. So, tell us a little bit about your background and where you got to where you are today, because it'd be fantastic to hear about that.
Yeah, Johnny. So, like you and many others, I been working my whole life working for corporate America, and then I decided to start my own business and become a owner of just one rental car franchise here in Charlotte, North Carolina, just a local one. And then from there, I ended up moving to South Carolina, getting a bigger location, and then got multiple. Then was able to come back here, and now I have, as I said, four franchises in Wilmington and Jacksonville, North Carolina, and from there, being an entrepreneur I loved it. And but being a franchise owner, you have to follow the corporate rules and just obey by their policies, which is like any franchise. But then I was listening to a podcast that you and I are mutually know, Rob Dial, who is my mentor and was your mentor as well. Yeah. And then I learned about, hey, I want to actually help coach. I want to help and be a coach. And long story short, and within 5 months, I was able to make $252,000 in that program. And then I realized, wow, I have a lot of potential where I can help everybody else. So you and I have been on conversations where we can help grow the coaching business. So right now I am with Rob Dial's team, right, and I help him as well as I coach a Wednesday sales course, which you've been a part of, and I teach new coaches, existing coaches, how to get to kind of to that next level and getting comfortable on their enrollment calls and being able to grow their coaching business to 5 to 6 figures. So really, really excited to talk to you about all this today. And that's why I'm here right now on this podcast talking to you, Johnny.
Yeah, excellent. And obviously, it's obviously very impressive, a lot of the things you've done. And obviously being on those Wednesdays calls and knowing you've got an immense amount of value that you give everyone. So obviously most people, or quite a lot of people, like in our kind of coaching community, perceive you as quite a confident person at the moment. But would you say that was always the case?
Not at all. Not at all, Johnny. That's a great question. The confidence started when I stopped getting upset with hearing no's, if that makes any sense. So essentially I used to get really bothered. I'm very competitive, played sports, as you know, and I anytime I heard a no, I would get really upset. I would let it get in my head. But from there, I guess when I realized I'm growing, or I am getting more confident, was when I heard that no. I was like, okay, what did I do wrong? And being able to critique myself and not necessarily getting upset or letting it hold me back. And that's when it started. So when I started accepting that I didn't get it my way and being okay with it and working to get to the goal or my vision, that's when I realized I had some confidence.
Yeah. So not seeing as a no as necessarily that you're not worthy or whatever, because I think that's a lot of us think, oh no, there must be something wrong with me if someone says no to us. But it's not necessarily, it's part of life. So I guess that's kind of how you viewed it a little bit, that it's just part of the journey and your growth.
Exactly. And and you learn too, like, hey, when a potential client, if anybody owns a business or does sale to sale, and when a customer says no, you got to understand that 97% of the time they're going to say no the very first time because they're uncomfortable. So the more and more you do research about it, and you just get confident in what you are actually providing, whether it's sales, services, and understanding that, hey, you want to give, you want to do it for purpose versus self. I mean, you will get over that hurdle and absolutely crush it in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, totally true. And I was thinking about that the other day when I've been, helped someone or added someone's life and it serves so many benefits. And chip in here if you agree, disagree, or anything. But when you sort of go out and help someone, or maybe they're a client of yours in whatever capacity as a coach you are, they're investing in themselves. So they're putting commitment into themselves, and that's doing them a favor, saying they're worth it. You're able to do good and grow more as an individual because you're getting that investment back from the value you're giving them. And also you're developing yourself as a coach, and there's all those benefits. But often we focus on that rejection, or what could go wrong, or what do they think. So it sounds like that's a hurdle you've definitely you've probably experienced, but actually when you got over it, that seemed to have helped an awful lot.
Yeah, because I mean,
But
that's
on
one of the
self,
biggest.
like you said, yeah, rather than
Yeah, and
it was on self rather than on purpose. Yeah.
yeah, and you said something very, very powerful, is that you said the fear of rejection. That's one of the biggest fears that people just cannot get over.
Mm.
So, and once you get over that fear, the fear of blank, the fear of rejecting, fear of asking, whatever it is that you get over, that's a good hurdle, and that's called growth. And that's kind of the way that I've been kind of monitoring myself.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. And what are some of the fears of people that you've experienced? Because I know you kind of look at that a little bit.
I mean, the biggest one I'm going to say, well, it's fear of hearing objections. There's fear of, just talking on the phone or doing a Zoom. There's fear of just asking. But the number one fear is the fear of change. And I always say this, and this is great for like anybody who's, just paying attention. Change only happens in two ways, Johnny, as you know.
Mm.
Change, either you make the change or the universe makes the change for you.
Yeah.
So I always say that, like, be in control of your change, because why should the universe make your change? Start taking action in your life. Like you and I, being coaches, you and I, like, helping change lives. Many of your listeners who want to level up and be better at what they do, take the change. Johnny's an amazing coach, just, throwing it. I mean, he is a great confidence coach and helped a lot of people, including myself. Rob Dial, has been my mentor for life. Like I can just say this, that I made the choices, though, that I wanted to change and be better and give back and help, and kind of what we just spoke about, purpose over self. And I control the change. So the fear of change is something that I feel we all have to grab the bull by the horn. Do not let change control you. You control the change.
Yeah. Great words. And yeah, it's something that's going to be part of life, and it's definitely part of the growth journey that's needed. So for you, obviously you jumped to the business breakthrough, and which is the community we're part of, and I know you've put a lot into yourself to get to where you are. What would you say to people about the value of investing in themselves?
I think it's the most important investment that you'll ever make in your life. I feel that, like, if you would have spoken to Ammar, 3 years ago, I would have been like, that's a waste of money. But realizing that, hey, like the cliche, put your mask on first before helping others. I'm a proud father and husband of 4 beautiful children. And for me to be that better father and that better husband, to invest in myself, to be able to find a way to lessen the hours of my franchises and being able to spend time with them, being able to show up as my, my best authentic self. That is investing in yourself, working on confidence, Johnny, like what you do. People who struggle with confidence and they're holding themselves back. I didn't realize that I held myself back from a lot of things. Even as a dad, I was holding myself from doing stuff. And for me to investing in myself with where you and I were both where we both met, being a part of the business breakthrough from Rob Dial, it was just like, holy, let me step it up, and not just step it up in one aspect of my life, in all aspects of my life, as that business owner, as that dad, as a friend, as that husband, as, I want to show up as Ammar authentically and not be ashamed of who I am, because I'm proud of who I am. And that's something that obviously you've helped me with as well, is, that confidence. And that is why I think it's before investing in anything, invest in yourself, because I promise you, you will see the return.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what you said about your family as well, and as well as friends. Obviously, you're a father of 4, you've got a wife as well. And actually, I think it's quite easy to miss that when we're investing in ourselves, we're creating a better version of ourselves for others around us, in our, in our close circle, our friends and family, but also the impact we're having on others. Like for you as a kind of, you've been a one-to-one business coach. I know you've done lots of things as a franchise owner, now helping coaches obviously up their game so they can impact on more people. Because you've put so much into yourself, you're able to make that bigger impact, right?
Correct. Exactly. So yeah, because once again, you talk about confidence, right? Being able to build my, confidence and skill as far as communicating, being able to help somebody one-on-one, and then go from there, and improving each and every day, and being able to now run a big group on Wednesday, building confidence in sales, and building confidence for, in the community for people who are struggling with it right now, and are struggling being a successful coach, being a successful business owner, being there. And for me to say, hey, I was there, I was the same way, but I was able to work on myself. I was able to, I'm going to use the word invest in myself again, but invest in myself, because it's not common that people invest in themselves. So you're able to kind of, as we were saying, just show up as your best authentic self in every avenue. And I feel that, like, yeah, when I showed up, and being able to now teach, a group of hungry entrepreneurs, that what are you gonna say?
I thought you could say hungry hippos then.
Oh yes, hungry hippos and entrepreneurs. Each week is definitely not as fun as feeding some hungry hippos, but I'll tell you what, it's definitely one of the greatest feelings ever to see somebody come on in and say, wow, I didn't think I was able to ever get one sale, and now they're quitting their full-time job and being a coach, because they were able to take the feedback from Rob Dial, Dean DeVries, myself, and the rest of the badass community, and yourself, of course, Johnny. So that's a powerful feeling, man.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So for yourself, in terms of your day to day, do you have any like non-negotiables that you do for yourself each day?
Yeah, that's a great question. Gratitude is something that I would have never said, once again, which you've helped me out with, Johnny, a lot. It's a gratitude, being able to say, hey, I am a great person. My intentions are always pure, and being able to say that to the point that I believe it. And, so that's a big thing. Exercising, morning routine is very, very important, as you know, to be able to know kind of what you're doing, and understanding that, hey, I'm going to set myself up to be the best today, all day long. And trying to be consistent. Consistency, you and I spoke about that prior. Like, consistency is probably the hardest thing to do, but if you can be consistent in anything that you do, for example, sticking to a program, consistency throughout it. If you want to exercise, if you want to go on a diet, like, success comes with consistency. And that, to me, is the most powerful trait I think everybody should, especially coming on to the New Year's right now. The key is consistency first. Can I do this for a long time? Can I do this that way? And that's going to truly measure how mental tough you really are, and get into that new year, either taking charge or chasing it. But I always say, like, I start my day being proactive versus reactive, and because of that, I'm able to have most days excellent days that way, and a routine, of course, being a dad and husband.
Yeah, of course. No, you're quite like most in our community, to be honest. And I'm actually got a question on community next, but like most in our community, you're quite an early riser, like myself, and I've
yes, sir.
Well, so no, that's cool. And yeah, just going on to the point of community as well. How important have you found it in your life and building your own belief in yourself and who you are as an individual to have a quality peer group around you?
Oh, Johnny, I mean, the saying is, if you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you're going to be the sixth one. If you surround yourself with 5 addicts, you're going to be the sixth one. So the community is one thing I feel. Once again, everybody, invest in yourself and be a part of a community that takes you for who you are. It changed my life. I have lifelong friends because of the community. I mean, Johnny, you and I have a lot of badass mutual friends from the community that, like, I talk to every day, including yourself. And the good thing about it is, as I said, with like the gratitude, like reaching out to Johnny when something's, not going right in my life, or if I'm feeling, a little out of it, or just not confident, being able to just, hey, give Johnny a call and him helping me out with that. That's the power of the community. That is the power of, hey, we're going to pick you up when you're down, not like watch you down. Like, you actually had everybody rooting for your success, and helping you getting over your personal hurdles. That is the power of the community. And I cannot emphasize that enough, man. Community is changed my life. And I have some of the most amazing friends that I'm going to have the rest of my life because of the amazing community that I've been a part of.
That's awesome. And it is a question and a point I bring up quite regularly on this podcast. And it's really just to kind of hone in that point, because we can sometimes hear something and, intellectually we hear it, but we're not living it. So I'm just very, very passionate about that point. So I just wanted to hear from you, and it, so I'm sure equally as passionate about that point as well, in that having those quality people around you. And I often say, like, you can do, I could give you tools and stuff like that to work on your self-talk and help people with that. But if you're surrounded by 5 negative people who are saying, what you do being an entrepreneur, you've got no hope, or you're, who are you, mate? Even if they're doing it in a, lads kind of bantering way, it's always going to knock you back. So like our community, you've got a great mind, a great bunch of minds around the table that kind of really build you up. So glad you said that point as well.
Yeah, man. As I said too, it's like it's something that I didn't realize I needed in my life until I was a part of it. And I mean, Johnny, I can tell you right now, I probably have 10 best friends from that community alone, including you, of course, in that number. But it's like where would these people be? And it's like, another word for a community that, like, because I know Johnny does group coaching as well, but like confidence. And the reason why I'm saying community is another word for community is confidence club. Like, it's just a club of a club that you have a group of people who are just picking up your confidence and helping you get through hurdles in life or in your business or in anything. So yeah, so it's just, I would definitely recommend everybody join a community that's going to lift you up, not bring you down.
Yeah, awesome. Love that. So this kind of question or thought really came to me earlier when I was actually in another peer group we're part of with Cass, and in terms of her Business Savage environment, which is a great community, and hopefully have Cass on the podcast shortly, who's, if you don't know Cass, probably not mentioned her, she's basically a badass business owner who's leading the way for a lot of people in our community. Great example. But earlier it was talking a little bit about time management. I was going through that module, which is something I really find fascinating. There's obviously want to strengthen my game as much as possible, but as someone, I thought it was a good opportunity to ask you this. As someone who's obviously a father of four, that's a lot of responsibility, and I see the pictures you post. It seems to give you so much joy, and I love seeing those happy pictures of your kids and your little girl running around, or one of your boys scoring a touchdown or whatever. It seems to give you a lot of, but obviously it's going to take a lot of your week, to kind of look after family. You got your wife, of course, and of course, you've been a business coach. You own like your franchise and everything like that. You're helping other coaches. What would you say to someone who says they don't have enough time?
Well, first off, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna go back to with Cass. Absolutely, she's a badass. She does the community. She actually talks about time. So yes, shout out to Cass and the Business Average community, because she's once again an awesome human being and a great friend. So yeah, definitely, that's where Johnny and I are part of that community. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And when you say I don't have enough time, you might as well just say I don't care. I don't have enough time. I don't care. That's it. That is my theory on I don't have enough time, because if it's that important to you, you will make time. That's it.
Yeah, I'm glad it's a straight to the point answer, really, because that's what, I don't think there's anything more to add on that. It's and I think Gary Vee said that as well. He said, try replacing it with it's not a priority. And I think what Cass was talking about earlier was, that you might be working a day job, you might be working a side hustle, you may have a couple of kids going, but she was saying there is someone out there who's got less time than you, but has been able to grow. So there's always role models and possibility out there to look at as well. And I think it's just an easy excuse sometimes, and it can be tough, depending on what we've all got different situations in our life. But yeah, I wanted to get your quick view on that one, because obviously you're an incredibly busy guy as well. And I kind of created a saying that everyone on the planet, I believe, is always busy. Whether you're busy watching Netflix all day, or whether you're busy working on your 3 businesses each day, or whether you're busy with your 3 businesses and your 4 kids, or whatever. We're all busy, but it's just priorities. Now, obviously, you can't do everything, but yeah, it's what you care about really the most, and making that time. So
yeah, and the thing about it too, and you brought up something about, like, think about when people say, like, I don't have time. Like, hey, like, I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. Number one messages I get is like, oh my God, I want to start a business. I want to start a podcast. I want to start ABCD. And then 3-4 weeks later, you reach out to them and it's just like, yeah, I didn't have enough time. And it's like, you really have enough time, or it was just not important? No, but it's an excuse after excuse after excuse. If you want to do it, do it. If I said your life depended on it to go get your podcast done by 3 weeks from now, you're going to get it done. So you make time. We all have the same amount of hours in the day. Yeah, like I am, with the family, obviously with things that pop up. Yeah, I consider myself a busy person, but never busy about doing the things that I want to do in my life. And especially when it comes down to growth or taking action, that is something that I will urge everybody listening to just analyze that for a second and say, hey, do I really want to do what I'm doing right now because I don't have enough time? Or am I scared of change, or uncomfortable? Like we can go about that. We can talk about all that, or you can just say, you know what, I'm going to do it, and then have an action plan to do it and pencil it into your schedule each and every day. Because if it's, if there's a will, there's a way. You'll find a way if you really want it. And that's the whole thing, is that look at your schedule, count. Your phone shows you how many times you're on social media. Johnny, as you know, like I don't go on social media as much anymore because it takes a lot of time. And it can hold me back from doing that. So it's just like, you got to just really sit down. And Rob Dial, my mentor, said something that I remember, and it got me so much better. He goes, schedule your day every 15 minutes. See if you can do it that way. That's a start, 15 minutes. And then see if you are really that busy and you feel like there's a lot of holes in your schedule that you think you are, so that you're really not that busy. So just putting that out there.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also said on a podcast, we all have 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week, which is factually true. You can't argue. But someone argued it. I don't know. You know?
Oh yeah, no, it is. As I said, man, we can go on and on, but at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
if I don't, I don't have enough time, just say I don't care. If you start looking at it that way, then you're going to take action. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I often ask, is it doing you any favors? Is it getting you where you want to? So that's always the important thing to ask about it. So yeah, no, I appreciate your thoughts on that one. Just kind of one kind of final question, and really enjoyed obviously our conversation so far, is
I mean,
what kind of, if you were to give a couple of tips, two, maybe three tips, depending what you got, on helping someone work on their confidence from kind of what you've experienced, or maybe even the coaches you've helped out with, what advice would you give someone to build their confidence in something?
yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And I would say, like, if you are struggling with confidence, if you are somebody who's like shy or just kind of listening and want to take action, but you just kind of keep hearing and just not moving, the best advice I'm going to tell you is hire a coach. We got a great confidence coach right here, and this is not even rehearsed or spoke about. Like, Johnny is an amazing confidence coach. There are other coaches too that you can go hire out there. Group coaching courses, I would say invest in yourself is the number one advice for confidence, because it will get you to your goal. Hire a coach, be a part of a community, a group, kind of that we just spoke about, because you end up, number one, having the most positive people. As we spoke about community, we can go on and on about that, but like what we just talked about community, like just invest in yourself is the number one thing. And the second thing I'm going to say is do what makes you happy. Like start doing stuff that you enjoy to do, not what your wife enjoys to do, not what your kids enjoy to do, not what your significant other, whatever it is. Do what makes you happy, because that's going to make you do more things to get to your goal. And I realize that the more time you're smiling and happy, the more times you're going to be hungry and aggressive to get to your goal. And I think that the more that you're like upset or soaking up on like the negative energy or just procrastinating, if I said that correctly, you're going to be in the same spot. So so I would just say, like, be good to yourself, be selfish sometimes, do stuff for yourself. I think that's very, very, very important, and to invest in yourself. That's what I would have to say.
Yeah, really great points. I love what you said about doing something for you, and we're often programmed into like, oh, this should be good for me, but it's not. That's absolutely that point of what is it for you that makes you feel happy. It's as crazy as it could be. So,
Yeah, it is, man. And as I said, like this is a great listening to podcasts is another great thing. Listening to obviously this podcast and a bunch of others, but it's more about, as I said, take care of you, put on your mask before helping others, and I promise you, you will accomplish everything you deserve and desire.
yeah, no, absolutely. Putting yourself first. And I'm really glad you put the point. We went back to the kind of like investing your time and money and energy into you as well. That's a great point, because there's always the one day or someday excuse, but as Tony Robbins says, when would now be a good time?
Exactly. Yeah. When's the time? It's right now.
Yeah.
When are you doing? New Year's is right around the corner. Like, Johnny, like I want to challenge the listeners, like, write it down. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to accomplish that you weren't able to do in 2021? Make it your goal in 2022. Find out what it is, make it realistic, and come up with a plan. Be proactive. Grab the bull by the horn. Change happens two ways, as I said it earlier. Either you control the change or the universe does it. Control your change.
Awesome. Love those points to end off, Ammar, and some really, really great insights I knew there would be from you. So I appreciate your time on today. So just before we kind of hop off today, are there any places people can go to find you, or any kind of final words you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, you can just find me on Instagram, and you said you could put it on the handle below at Ammar Assad, and you guys can reach out with anything with business related sales. But the number one message that I want to, I guess, final thoughts, or I should say final thoughts. There we go. is do what makes you happy. If you're not happy, you're not living. So whatever it is that's bothering you, whatever that is that you got triggers, work on your triggers. If you got issues with the family, work on the family. If you got issues with your friends, work on your friend. Like work on stop. What's the saying is like stop, get out of the mud. You know, you're drowning right now. Get out of the damn pool. Just stand up. Is to say, you know, it's only 1 foot. Stand up and. But you seem a little confused right there.
You just reminded me of the weekend. I was in a freezing cold gorge and I was swimming in it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. No, it's just like you can either stay like right here, just kind of lift your head above the water, or just get out of there and stop drowning yourself. You know, because I realized that I was drowning myself. I was suffocating myself. I was causing my own problems. And now it's like I choose to be happy. I choose to live the life that I want to live, and I choose to control everything that goes on in my life. So then nobody's controlling any of my changes but my wife, of course, who's obviously has the audible of calling whatever change that she needs. But for the most part, like having that support, amazing. She's an amazing supportive wife, supportive kids, supportive family. Like get that support. You know, like when I say supportive family, you in the community, like be around people that are going to pick you up and make yourself happy, and start assessing like what makes you motivated and what brings you down, and start eliminating the things that bring you down. Because I promise you, once you take care of that, you are going to go places that you never thought you would. So that's what I have to say.
Brilliant inspirational words. Thanks, Ammar. To kind of round off there. So once again, a big thank you for coming onto the podcast and all the value you've given today. So thank you, Ammar.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you, my man.
We appreciate it. So that concludes our episode today, and I'll be sure to share Ammar's Instagram in the description. But remember, work on your self-confidence every single day.